And so most frequently when it comes to celebrities, they're trying to imitate Kid Rock more than anyone else. Because if you want to get that crowd, you want to pretend that you're Kid Rock. They were by far the most successful. The Kid Rock fan pages pose as members of either the Kid Rock fan base or Kid Rock himself, or, you know. So there's something to enjoy. A new headache for Kid Rock. And so maybe you follow him on social media, maybe you don't. But there are a lot of people who are forwarding and retweeting messages that they think are from Kid Rock or his fans, and they're not. They're Russian bots. Of course, he's a big Trump guy, so this is why nobody gives it really a second thought.
They should have been tipped off when they kept calling themselves the Bulldog and not the Bull God.
I am Bulldog. How you like my new album? It's a lot of country. You like country music? It's a good. The Bulldog and R.I.P. Joe C. Cavaliers play tonight. They are in Dallas. Play the Mavericks at 9 o'clock here on MMS and on the iHeartRadio app. It's 8:30 is that pregame. And then they're going to come home for a couple of games. They're going to play the Pacers on Friday. We'll play the Mavs here at home on Saturday. So, boy, if you are an expat from Dallas and a lifelong Mavs fan, you got a good few days ahead of you. And then they'll play the Utah Jazz, Donovan Mitchell's old team, right?
Yep. No. Jazz. You said Jazz, right?
Yeah, the Jazz.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had a
That's
brain
his
fart.
old team? Yeah.
As I said it, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. And then they'll play the Bucks next Wednesday. That's, what's his name, Poundcake, the player for the Bucks?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
He was in the Poundcake Sports Break last week. We got a new one coming later today. Who's the guy from the Milwaukee Bucks you were talking about last week?
Alan, I don't remember.
His first name starts with a G.
G.
His last name starts with an A.
Oh, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
You nailed
pretty
it.
good.
But what'd you call him last week?
Gianni.
You called him Johnny Anderhausen or something. Yeah.
No, I got the last name right, and you said you're just like, you don't pronounce the G because he's Greek. So,
No, it's great. You nailed it now.
Yeah, I called him Giannis.
Giannis.
like it's pronounced G-I-A, Giannis.
I gotcha.
Like Gia. But yeah, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
That's right. Took me longer than that to nail it. Good job. So a brand new Poundcake Sports Break today around 5:30.
That's one of
last live one of 2022. That's right. And a new Poundcake podcast, I assume.
Yes.
On the iHeartRadio app, too.
Yeah,
I don't see it at AlanCoxShow.com, but it's on the app. It's on the iHeartRadio app.
I'm really enjoying doing it here now. There's too many distractions at my house, at my apartment.
Currently, there are too many distractions at your house?
Not by my. Like, I didn't do it. My roommate didn't do anything. It's just so ghetto. Always police sirens in the background, planes flying, people fighting, gunshots. Like, it's always in the background.
What's the matter with that?
Gives it a little ambiance.
Yeah.
No, I don't need that type of stuff.
You used to throw hands on Prospect Avenue. I don't know what the problem is.
That's the sound of the police.
I'd be in the middle of a juicy story. I'm like, you are never gonna believe.
Now, since that's your only sound effect, what is that representing?
Plane.
Plane going over.
This episode's called The Duke and Duchess of Suck-It.
I thought that was clever.
That's Harry and Meghan Markle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when I watch the second installment, part 2, the next 3 episodes on Friday, then I'll do, part 1 and part 2 of the podcast because I'm into it. I'm sucked into it.
Oh, you've watched that documentary or are watching that documentary.
It's a docu-series, so I would love to get sucked up. I'm assuming 6-episode installment because they released the first 3 on December 8th, and they're going to do whatever else is left on December 15th. And I don't care what anyone says about them. It's love conquers all. They're taking on the crown. They're taking on the media. They're taking on everybody.
Except the headlines today. And again, I couldn't care less about this. I haven't paid attention to one iota of it other than the headlines that I see. And the headline I saw today was that William and Harry's relationship is irretrievably broken.
I'm sure it is.
Oh,
That's his.
no.
No, but that's your brother. I mean, you both. Princess Diana was your mom. You both went through that together. You would think that. I don't know what you'd think.
But it's not. That's what he's saying is that when it comes to the royals, the institution it covers all. Like it is institution.
It supersedes your blood.
Apparently, because
all that blue blood.
William's not going to choose his blood over the crown, and Harry can't choose the crown over his family.
No, I understand. I'm just saying I don't know why within that framework they can't get along.
But see, I actually understand it, and I kind of go into it.
They're mad because they left England?
It's not that. It's just Harry, there's a bunch of scrutiny on his family. Harry was, the reason why people care about Harry so much is because he's the best looking one out of all.
That's a very low bar.
I know, but he's the best looking one, so he was like the heartthrob of the family. And so he got married, and he is getting all this added attention because now his girlfriend, now wife, is black or in darker complexion. So there's it's already bad press in the UK, and it's even worse when you have someone who doesn't look like the rest of the family. And he's saying, what do I need this aggravation for? I'm seventh in line for the throne. I'm never going to be king. I don't need the royal titles.
Right, I'm not giving anything up.
Yeah. So he's like, I was never going to be king.
But are they cut off? My question is just, are they cut off from the money?
The royal money, yes, because the taxpayers pay for the royals. But Diana was already rich. I mean, it's a bunch of rich people problems. Diana was already rich, and he left them money. Like, she left money.
How is she rich?
In a trust. Her family, Diana came from money. Like her.
Diana Spencer came from money? I thought she was like a middle class.
I thought she was like a school teacher or something.
Well, I mean,
No,
that
she
was
was only 18
by
when
profession she was, but I thought that she came from a middle class English family.
No.
I don't know.
Did she remarry?
She did. Dodie Fayed was the guy that I think died in the car with her, but I don't think they were married.
She never remarried. But either she got the money. If she wasn't born into money, then she gained it by doing, royal duties. I mean, you get a paycheck. It just may be, taxpayer funded. But she left the money in a trust fund, as all rich people do. And that's how they came over here. So they have to do these docu-series. They have to write these books. They have to do these appearances because how are they going to make money otherwise?
Well, yeah, but the issue that I see that people have with them is you can't complain about wanting your privacy and then doing podcasts and Netflix specials and books. I understand you have to make money, but then just kind of be maybe a little bit more transparent about that. Again, I don't follow this.
He was born into it.
Huh?
It's not his fault. He was born into it. He didn't ask to be
Maybe
a
it's
celebrity.
Maybelline. He didn't ask to what?
He didn't ask to be a prince.
Right, but there's a lot of benefits that come with that.
Oh, I'm a sucker.
No, listen,
I'm like defending them over everything because
everything.
Because I'm just like, ooh, I just know they're having great sex. Like, that's literally what it has to be. Harry must be having the best sex of his life with his biracial wife, and he just don't know what to do with himself.
Yeah, because nothing gets people horny more than constant public scrutiny. These two are going to bed every night with eye masks on their face.
That poom poom done made him lose his mind. Like, divorced the family. He was like, he said in the docu-series, he was like, my family was surprised that a ginger could score a hot chick like this. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, and if he was a ginger working at CVS, he'd be right.
Right, yeah.
But he's not.
He's not bad looking. He's still hot, even if he wasn't a
No,
prince.
none of them are hot.
Oh,
William lost his hair at like 21. Prince Charles is King Charles now. Nothing to look at. I mean,
Prince William had a glow down. I don't understand. They have all the resources in the world. He could get a toupee, a Bosley, something. You don't have to go bald.
Yeah, but I mean, he probably figures why.
Do they have kids yet?
Who?
No, Meghan and Harry.
Meghan and Harry.
Yes, they do.
Oh, they do?
That was the whole point of it.
Why are you so enthralled with that?
I don't get it at all.
Royalty really thrills you?
I can't even begin to care about these things. They should just dissolve the crown. Like, who?
I don't even have that much of an opinion on it. It doesn't. I remember when I was a kid, my mom recorded the marriage of Charles and Diana. It was an international phenomenon, okay? It's just when there were 3 channels and PBS back in the day, and so she had that on VHS. And it's probably still in a box somewhere in my parents' basement. And my mother was just crushed when Princess Diana died. But I feel that was a different time where people really, there's no real American royalty, and so people who really enjoy that kind of stuff like you got to find a proxy. But in this day and age, man, I just don't get, like, for people who like drama, you can seek it out and find it in every possible corner of pop culture. I'm curious what the allure still is of the British royals. I don't get it.
I think it's just like
because Meghan Markle's American? I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
Because it's literally...
She's an interloper in their...
But I'm confused even by the hero worship that people have and the way people put celebrity... Like, I enjoy, Coheed and Cambria, my favorite band. I don't know anything about their personal lives. I don't even know the names of the other members of the band, really. I just want to listen to the music.
Yeah, there's Jim Coheed and there's Marty Cambria. Bill.
Like, I don't have the interest in the day-to-day lives of the people whose work I enjoy. I just want to hear the music and, that's go see them live once in a while.
Well, the best...
But, like, for you to be so enthralled and be, like, swept up in this
It's a real
majesty.
life fairy tale. It's a real life fairy tale.
But it's not a fairy tale.
I want to see how this ends. There's going to be a big dragon that just vaporizes
It's
everybody.
not a fairy tale.
It's manufactured drama.
Just because these people live in castles doesn't make it a fairy tale. And what's the allure of fairy tales? You're not a 12-year-old girl. Fairy tales are for people who don't understand what happens in real life. And so, obviously, when they're younger and it's
I'm just a nosy person. I'm nosy.
Why don't you be nosy in your own life and get some stuff going for yourself?
I'm working on that, but in the meantime, I need distractions. I remember when I
you literally don't need distractions.
You are
That's
too
the point.
distracted.
You
That's
have
what we always
too
tell
many
you.
distractions. You just said you have too many distractions at your house that had nothing to do with you, and now you're telling us these are taking time away from my own distractions.
But I feel like
my self-imposed distractions are taking a back seat.
I feel like it's my nature. When I was in high school, we took a field trip to the Stan Hewitt Gardens, like the big mansion out there in Akron. That was before I went to school, obviously. I was in high school. But we took a field trip out there, and I'm like, wow, this is a big, amazing house. And I couldn't even enjoy it because I was too busy thinking about what were their lives like here. I'm like,
listen,
if someone committed adultery through the secret passageway.
I don't think there's any problem with having that kind of curious mind. I think and you do this a little bit on your podcast, but I think that's what you're really passionate about. And you should, if that's what you want to do, like, make that your goal. Like, go be paparazzi or whatever you want to do.
Right, like people who are like, oh, I have a strange interest in medieval history or whatever. Those people usually study it exhaustively, and it might be dull to a lot of other people, but those people end up being experts in it, that they can then contribute their knowledge or whatever. You're just kind of living vicariously through other people's messy lives. And again, I think if you're having fun, you're not wasting time. I don't think you're ever wasting time by having fun.
But I'm rooting for them. Like, I want
for what? Two rich people to make life work? Boy, I hope these crazy rich people really get what they want.
Which is for
Rooting
you to
for them.
watch the next episodes of it. Yes,
I'm gonna. Bill,
go for it. but I don't know what I'm just confused by is you want these things so badly, but I don't. Like, it seems like that's enough for you. It seems like you watch them and you go, oh, I'll just live vicariously through them rather than try and push myself and get to the point of my life where I want to be there. Not even marrying a prince, but just, like, getting to another level.
Because I don't want curious people knowing about my life. I want to look at theirs.
Nobody has to know about your life to progress in this business.
But I'm talking about something totally different. Yes, this business I want to succeed in. I think it's fun. I do take an interest in, reporting what I find.
Right, which is fine. But what I'm saying is, if that seems to be the thing that you are most enamored by. So why aren't you, like, pushing that more? Like, that's what your podcast is mainly about, is things like that. So, like, you should, like, one, I think you need to start doing the video aspect of it, and then also, like, build this up. Like, make that your whole, make your Instagram account about this stuff. Do reels about this stuff.
You mean his brand?
Yeah, make your brand about this stuff and find a way to monetize it because it is monetizable.
Mm-hmm.
And I would and then you can stop crying about, never having any money. And honestly, you could probably, there's enough other people that are interested in the stuff that you're interested in that it is, and you have a personality that is funny and engaging, that when you talk about this stuff, people will listen. So you should be like doing reels where you're like, let me spill this tea on all this stuff. And like, I'm not even saying there's anything wrong with you doing it.
I'm saying just to report.
Well, no, but I mean, that's what the whole point of your podcast is. Like the whole point of doing your podcast and doing, social media, you could be building this whole separate part of the Poundcake brand. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not even saying there's anything wrong with you doing it. I'm saying you're missing out on an opportunity to get a foothold into this world and be somewhat of a talking head on the subject.
But I'm doing that. I'm working on the kinks out now. I just started
the kinks.
Well, because I just started recording it completely here, and
Listen, let him do his thing.
I am, but I just want to and I basically, here's what I'm saying. If you need help figuring out how to do this and formatting some of this stuff, let me know and I will happily help.
Totally. I know I can always ask you for sure.
But you don't. And every once in a while you do, but I feel like let's step on the gas on it a little bit. And
thank you.
You can probably get your reels monetizing soon, and it's not a ton of money, but it helps.
Hey. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
It's always sad to me, too, that people undervalue the value of changing your nature. People go, that's how I am. It's in songs. It's a line in songs. People pump their fist. I'm never changing who I am. Change who you are. Mm-hmm. There is a lot of value in change. How sad would it be to never change who you are? You hear that a lot, and people wear it like a badge of honor, like, you'll never change me. That's so sad.
But if it's a top...
Somebody should have watched the rest of Spirited.
There's huge value in changing who you are.
It's
constantly, I might add.
It's one of the best things about life is looking back and saying how much progress you've made by changing certain aspects of yourself and growing. Look at the amount of growth that Mary's had since she stopped drinking. She's changed so much, and it's been a great transformation. So yeah, changing who you are is very good.
Alan, your opinion on who's hot and who isn't is invalid because you think Sarah Huckabee Sanders is attractive.
Point taken.
Listen, you mean the governor-elect of Alabama? Thank you very much. Arkansas. Sorry.
Arkansas. Yeah.
It's hard to keep them straight. Just because we all got to have one, right?
They like to keep them straight, though.
They sure do. By force, if necessary. Just because I think this lumpy, cockeyed hill rod has got something going on, don't blame me.
Meatball-shaped governor.
You get me on the wrong day, and a little twinkle in her eye and her little gap tooth. I got a break. Hey, I'll have those incarceration passes for you. They're going to announce the full lineup first part of 2023, but I will secure you a couple of weekend passes. It goes on mid-July out there at the Ohio State Reformatory, and they never miss, man, in that incarceration lineup. So it's going to be a great season out there. So we'll do those coming back. 35192 if you want to text.
It's the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app or whatever smart device you have.
Just tell me to play the Alan Cox Show on iHeartRadio.
Buzzard Radio.
The Buzzard.
He's Rover.
This is going to make me vomit.
Rock.
Sing for the left and sing for the tears. Baby, you're my love. They're gonna rip it off.
And Alan Cox.
I certainly don't want to waste my latex